Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Friday, June 20th, 2025. That's right, this is for Fridays. Thursday's markets were closed, so we're doing this for Friday, June 20th. Before I jump into today's NVIDIA analysis and talk about this chart and that chart, I just want to mention that on Wednesday, wickedstocks.com put out two stock picks, one in AMD and the other in Disney, and they are both stocks very close. They're approaching significant areas that if they take out would set off a meaningful buy signals that could play out, and we're expecting to play out in the months to follow, looking for always at least 20% moves on those underlying stock picks. We do a pretty good job, I think, of finding those best stocks that fit that profile. We do two a week. You go to wickedstocks.com and take advantage of our 5-day free trial, and you will see everything we produced this week, last week. Much of it's still relevant. You'll get daily triple Q, daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock. So check us out at wickedstocks.com and take advantage of that 5-day free trial. Here we are. Weekly bar chart, NVIDIA going back several years. We had mentioned 8 weeks ago today that when we settled above this 5-month descending channel top that is well below the market at 93.59, that we are expecting then 150.46 as the next long-term objective. We mentioned 2 to 3, 3 to 5 months. It's all kind of playing out inside of 2 months. That assumes that we just might test 150.46 over the next few days. But we're getting there. The timing is actually 2 months today. And so, sure, 2 to 3 months. It could take another week or two. I'm going to jump to the daily chart now and just show 150.46 as represented by that horizontal line. We're also using 153.13. The January all-time high is really part of a range. But honestly, I would not be comfortable holding a short position longer term if we were to close on a weekly basis above that 150.46 formation by a full 1% margin. That's pretty easy math. Just add 1.5 to that. Takes you to what, 151.96 roughly. If we were to close there or higher today, for instance, which is not likely to happen, but if so, I would be uncomfortable holding a short position. Should you play the long side? I think you can scale into a long position, and certainly if we close above 153.13, that all-time high from last January, you're all in on a long position into the mid 170s and climbing. 173.62 is a 2.5-year structure that would become a 2 to 3 month target if we were to close above 150.46. So keep that in mind. But until then, as we approach this significant, mostly horizontal channel top, it is a formation that may contain buying through July. And from here, we can fall away, possibly well into the third quarter. So that is an area for taking profits if you've been long for the last couple of months, the last couple of weeks above 134.71, whatever the case may be.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
On the daily chart, I still like this market. We have, how do we break this down? 143.54 is really kind of a 1 month, 4 week channel bottom. We are bullish above that into early next week. Holding above 153.54 maintains over the next 3 to 5 days or sooner 150.46 as an objective. And 146.64 is a trend line across these highs. We show it in part here. We don't label it. There's only so much room in these charts, but 146.64 is labeled as an intraday pivot point. It can contain intraday highs. From here, we can fall back to 143.54 on an intraday basis. If we close above 146.64, 150.46 is likely Monday, Tuesday of next week. That would meet our objective. That is a short sell opportunity. At the very least, I think it's a long liquidation opportunity. Take at least some profits. And of course, if we close above 150.46 At the end of next week, we enter another significant buy signal that should play out through the third quarter, expecting the 173.62 level within 2 to 3 months. But until then, we can fall away from 150.46. Our initial kind of near-term 2 to 3 month objective, 2 to 3 week objective, I'm looking for a better representation here, and this is really it, is 129.87. So as we push into the 150s, options traders might reach for 130 or 135 strike out of the money. Puts that don't expire, I'd go 6 weeks out on this possible 2 to 3 week play. Inversely, if we were to test 129.87 over the next few weeks, at that point, you could reach for 150, 155 strike out of the money calls that don't expire for at least 6 weeks. That would be a possible, very one-dimensional option play, basic. Let's cover the downside now. You know, I mentioned earlier how 143.54, we are bullish above it short term, expecting 150.46. We don't really turn bearish over that same time frame unless we close below 141.49. And that is this kind of 1.5 week more horizontal channel bottom that, if settled below, would then signal within 3 to 5 days the 136.05 formation. So I hope I'm making myself clear. I think you can hold a long position over the weekend into early next week above 143.54, expecting to take profits at 150.46. Playing the short side of the market, yes, we would have a sell signal below 143.54, but I think it is prime territory for a big head fake where we could round right back up again into next week. So in terms of shifting momentum over the 2 to 3 day time frame into the negative column, that comes with a settlement below 141.79. And then we're only expecting 136.05, where we could bottom out through the following week, through next week, round back up. This is kind of our 2 to 3 week opportunity, is selling the low 150s, buying the mid 130s. And I'd already mentioned in the kind of the 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week context is selling the low 150s, buying what is now the upper 120s. Now this area, 136.05 and 129.87, are both rising, and they are converging upon each other over the next couple of weeks. So it becomes a more convenient range. It really does literally become a range of support above which the 150 is expected, below which we have a significant sell signal into July, August. We're just not ready yet. We need to see what the high is as to what our expectation would be. We'll certainly be covering that on a daily basis. I think I've said it all. I am going to leave it at that for Friday's daily NVIDIA report. Be back, of course, on Monday with the Monday NVIDIA report. You have a great weekend.